Welcome back to more Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Last time, Olimar took off with our supplies, so this time we're continuing to chase after him in the Garden of Hope. To start out, I want 30 rock Pikmin and 70 winged Pikmin. This actually demonstrates a problem I've mentioned a few times already. Certain types of Pikmin don't get much to do in 3. For example, we just got the blue Pikmin, and they're already sitting out the first part of this day because we've actually done everything in the Garden of Hope that requires them. There's still one more thing that I'm pretty sure is intended to be done with blue Pikmin, but to be honest, I find it a lot easier and safer to do this with winged Pikmin instead, and that actually applies to a lot of tasks in this game. Another example is when you need to reach something on a high ledge that in the previous games would require yellow Pikmin, but because we have flying Pikmin, we don't need the yellow Pikmin for that anymore. The only times when you really need yellow Pikmin or blue Pikmin is if something involves electricity, or if something is completely submerged in water and the winged Pikmin can't reach it. Alright, let's toss the rock Pikmin and Brittany over here, and then whistle the rest, and we have a peckish Aristocrab. We saw one in the Tropical Wilds, but this is our first time actually fighting one. What we want to do is break its claw. It's made of crystal, so the rock Pikmin will be able to break through it eventually, and if the claw's gone, it actually can't pick up any Pikmin. So its only other move is actually blowing bubbles, similar to the Waddlepus, and these actually can't hurt Pikmin, so once the claw's gone, it's effectively harmless. So let's rescue the rock Pikmin from the bubbles, and we'll move on. We have this fruit obviously, along with a lot of bridge pieces, but I want to save those for later. I want to prioritize what's through here, because in my opinion, this next section is one of the scariest parts in the Deathless run. We're really close to the signal's origin. Alright, let's break this crystal. This is the Quaggled Mireclops. What you want to do is use a spicy spray and then charge your winged Pikmin at its feet. Looks like the feet might be a weak spot. Great, we got an opening now. So let's break the crystal the rest of the way. With the crystal shattered, I want to take the rock Pikmin over here to start working on the bridge. Partially just to get them out of the way of the fight, so I don't accidentally whistle them while trying to round up the winged Pikmin. Once again, we'll use a spicy spray, and then attack its feet to knock it off balance, and then we'll try to attack its bulb, which is actually its weak spot. What we want to do is try to bait it into attacking with its tongue. What is that thing? Something seems funny here. Partway through its attack, we want to charge the Pikmin and then call them back before it shakes them off. Wow, what a delectable looking piece of fruit! And there's Captain Olimar, the food thief! He'd better still have our juice. Is that a spaceship? Don't tell me he was planning to escape in that bucket of bolts. We need some answers. Not to mention our juice. Let's get him back to the Drake ASAP. I think it goes without saying that that's not how the fight is supposed to go. Basically, if you charge the winged Pikmin at its bulb while it's mid-attack, it actually won't shake off the Pikmin right away, giving you an opportunity to deal more damage. And then, right after it shakes off the Pikmin, it'll start to stand up again, and then tilt to knock the Pikmin off, but if you charge the Pikmin right back, you can actually deal enough damage to one-cycle the Quaggled Mireclops. This is, in my opinion, one of the scariest fights, and this little speedrun trick definitely makes it a lot safer to get through. Also, by the way, its feet will actually create puddles that are deep enough for Pikmin to actually drown, which is why I feel like this fight is meant to be done with blue Pikmin, but again, it's actually just a lot easier to do this with the winged Pikmin instead. So we'll set up the bridge the rest of the way, not that we really have to, given that the winged Pikmin are carrying everything back, but we might as well. There is actually one Easter egg that is actually really important to show. It looks a bit like a moon, but I bet it's delicious. There's an Easter egg in that area that I'd like to show tomorrow, now that the Mireclops is actually defeated, so I do want to build the bridge just to make it a little bit easier to get back over to the spot tomorrow. Like before, since we don't really have a lot of blue Pikmin and yellow Pikmin for that matter, I'd like to leave the Mireclops' bulb and also the Aristocrab by the onions, and then we'll have the other types of Pikmin round them up. We have plenty of winged Pikmin for the rest of our journey here, but our blue and yellow numbers aren't great. Not that we need too many. Again, you really don't need blue Pikmin or yellow Pikmin outside of very specific cases, but it is good to have at least 100 of each type in most cases. Next, I want to get out the yellow Pikmin, and we have an electric wall over here where the bulb orbs were. So while they're carrying everything back, I want to start working on that. We'll deal with the bulb orbs in a bit. We definitely don't have the numbers to actually defeat a bulb orb right now. So there are the two fruits, and the captain should also be arriving at the Drake. Analyzing. Oh, a message from the Drake. Analyzing recovered life form. Life form is in stasis. Subject's spacesuit has activated forced sleep mode. Being was in possession of 35-day supply of juice and one soft vinyl toy suitable for a toddler. Captain Olimar is going to pay for stealing our juice. When he wakes up, he's in for the interrogation of a lifetime. So with that, we've gotten our supplies back, along with the captain's rubber ducky. So let's put away 20 winged Pikmin, and we'll take out 20 more yellow Pikmin. Fighting an enemy like a Bulborb with winged Pikmin and yellow Pikmin might not be ideal, but we should have enough to get through here relatively safely, I hope. We'll also get the other yellow Pikmin, and with a full squad, this should be no problem at all. We'll charge from behind as usual. Again, we might not actually have to fight this, but I want to get it out of the way just in case, because we will have to carry something back. I also think I want to activate a cutscene with this fiery blowhog. The Pikmin are freaking out! Maybe whistling at them with B will calm them down. Like with the drowning cutscene, I want to get that out of the way because we will be dealing with fire before too long, and I don't want that cutscene popping up in the middle of a major boss fight that's coming up in the future. So we'll have the yellow Pikmin dig this out, And in the meantime, I want to take all of our yellow Pikmin and our winged Pikmin to work on something else. There are 2 more electric walls in this area, but we actually only have to destroy one of them because they both lead to the same place. Basically, I feel like this route is slightly shorter. The other electric wall is closer to where Brittany landed here. So if you want to actually open up both sides, that's where it is. But I personally feel like it's not really necessary, given that we're basically going to enter these areas to carry some things back, and that's about it. And again, I do feel like this is the fastest, or the faster and safer of the 2 routes through here. But just to show it off, you can see where it connects on the other side here, on the other side of this bridge. But again, we'll have the yellow Pikmin work on the wall. I think while they're working on that, I'm going to check up on the yellow Pikmin that are working on the fruit. It actually should be dug up relatively soon, but it'll be a bit until it's back to the ship. I see there's a problem. So basically, a couple of the Pikmin tried to pick up the fiery blowhog instead of the fruit. So it's a good thing I actually went back here to check, because that would have been bad if that didn't get back on time. So with that taken care of, they should be fairly far along with dealing with the wall, actually, so the timing should actually work out pretty well. Yep, they're done, so we'll round them up and see what's through here. Over here, we have this little, like, drainage area that's very interesting, so we'll see what's inside. We have quite a few fruits to find here, and we have a bag to move, like before. And over here, we have another bug-eyed Crawmad. This will be a little bit easier this time because we also have the yellow Pikmin with us to deal a little bit of extra damage. So once again, we want to attack both of its eye stalks, and once it flips over, we also want to start tossing the yellow Pikmin as underside to hopefully one-cycle this fight. So yeah, that actually isn't too bad. We'll have the yellow Pikmin carry the fruit and the Crawmad back. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention about the Quaggled Mireclops is its various attacks. So for example, it can basically slam its entire body down to crush any Pikmin below it, but it can also stomp really quickly through the arena, so it is actually a very dangerous opponent if you're not expecting it to be that much of a threat. Even though it's fairly slow and easy to avoid a lot of the footsteps, Pikmin can easily get staggered if they fall off while trying to attack the feet, and could easily be crushed if you're not careful, which is why I want to stock up on Spicy Spray. There's also a reason why I picked up another one in case I messed up the one cycle, because if we did, then we wouldn't have been able to get through the fight very easily with just 2 Spicy Sprays. The extra spray would have given us another chance at the one cycle. But again, I'm glad I got that right away, because otherwise, fighting it the intended way is not necessarily the most fun experience. So the day is starting to wind down. While we have a couple more fruits to collect, I think I want to spend some time rounding up the enemies. Again, the boss will still be there for a little bit, but the other enemies will despawn tomorrow, and I would like to build up our numbers a little bit. We should have over 100 yellow Pikmin now. I'll wait for the onion to stop making new Pikmin before putting them back, so it doesn't actually produce seeds that I'd have to pluck and then put back into the onion, and we'll take out 50 blue Pikmin instead of the winged Pikmin. Again, we really don't need that many blue Pikmin, but we might as well have them carry the Mireclops back to the ship, and I guess also the Aristocrab as well. I'm pretty sure we actually don't really need any more Spicy Spray either. Part of me was almost tempted to try to get some more, though to be fair, there are spicy plants everywhere, so if we want to get more, it wouldn't actually be a big deal at all. We could easily go back in like the Tropical Wilds or the Twilight River to try to collect some more. But yeah, we do have a couple more fruits left. They're actually both in this area over here. And I also want to show off some more Easter eggs of this area. So even though there's not a ton to do tomorrow, there are still a lot of things I'd like to show if we have time, and we definitely will. I'm actually really glad I got the one cycle partially, also just because I have less to worry about, because I got through the fight so fast, I basically I had a little bit more time to round up all the extra fruits that I wanted to get, and also build up our numbers a little bit more. So yeah, by the end of this day, we should have close to maybe 150 yellows and blues, I would assume at least, based on my math, though to be fair, we also have the bulb orbs over here. Really quickly before the day ends, I also want to gather up all of the blue Pikmin and start breaking some of the eggs here just to boost our flower Pikmin numbers a bit, because right now, all of our blue Pikmin are actually leaves. Alternatively, you can use a spicy spray to just instantly flower all the Pikmin, but again, just to save it for a rainy day, I think I will keep the spicy spray just in case something goes wrong later on. Again, I do feel like it's really hard to get the Pikmin to actually drink the nectar in large quantities. A lot of times you'll only get like maybe 5 or 6, rather than in the older games with swarming, where you could easily flower most of your entire squad with like one egg. It was really nice, and again, is one of the major downsides of having the charge instead of swarming like in the older games. And again, it's actually nice that on normal and hard difficulties, there are actually eggs here, which is not the case in the Wii U version, if I'm not mistaken. But with that, we have defeated yet another boss, and cleared out even more, or collected even more of the fruits in the Garden of Hope. Hehe, new fruit, yes! Phew, it's such a relief to have our juice supply back. Good, we still have plenty of juice left. So yeah, we were able to increase our yellow and blue Pikmin numbers by quite a bit, and got quite a few fruits actually. Looking at the replay, we mostly spent the day fighting the Mireclops, but again, because of the the speedrun strategy we used, it actually went really fast, and we spent the rest of the day basically rounding up as many fruits and enemies as we could, while also clearing out a little bit more of the area. Again, we really don't need to worry about this wall over here, just because the only other enemies are like 2 hermit crawdads that you'd have to fight to carry things through there, so it's just easier to go the other way in my opinion. And we only have a couple more fruits actually. Both of them should be here. You can see both on the radar here. So we'll be exploring that area, and again, going after some secrets in the area to wrap up our exploration of the Garden of Hope. We managed to capture the thief Olimar, that Hocotatian who had been eluding us. We retrieved our stolen food supplies, but boy, was Brittany upset, and rightly so. After we all calmed down a bit, I started thinking that there was something fishy going on here. We need to get to the bottom of things. You can now fight the Quaggled Mireclops in a defeat bosses mission. So it turns out this isn't Captain Olimar at all, but rather some other fellow named Louis. And I suppose that fuselage we saw must have been the remains of Olimar and Louis' ship. Seems like that huge monster really did a number on it, though. Food! Is that all you think about? Didn't we just feed you? Ah, it's great to be reunited with my rubber ducky. With him by my side, I feel like I can achieve anything. Is anyone listening to me? Louis doesn't have our cosmic drive key. We need to find out if he knows where the real Olimar is. According to Louis, the real Olimar is out there somewhere. We'll finally get our cosmic drive key back. If what Louis says can be trusted, that is. Alright, let's move out. The variety of fruit on this planet is truly impressive. Sometimes I think about making a home here, it might be nice. All the juice you can drink. Do you think people would ever visit this planet on vacation? I don't know, but right now the people of Kopai are depending on us to stay on the task at hand. Yes, of course, Alf. I was just wondering if tourists would like it here. No harm in that. I was hoping for a more exciting conversation, having just rescued Louis. I do feel like we might stop trying to check out the daily conversations just because even though there are a ton we haven't seen, we're starting to get a lot of repeats. So we have our final area. There's actually no fruit here, which is very interesting. So instead, I want to go around the entire world collecting all of the fruits we're missing. So, tomorrow, we will finish exploring the Garden of Hope. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Pikmin 3 Deluxe.